When I was on a live reality show, the host asked if I had a girlfriend. I told him I used to date someone. The host, ever the professional when it came to prying, pressed on. "So, what's up with you two now?" he asked, leaning forward with feigned sincerity. I gave a small, weary sigh and replied with a hint of what I hoped was convincing sadness. "She's gone." 10 minutes later, my sister blew up the live chat with a message in all caps. "Why don't I know that I'm dead? My mother is a titan of industry. My father is an award-winning actor, and my sister is a top-tier influencer with millions of followers. Despite this powerhouse of a family, none of them could manage to make me famous after I spent 3 frustrating years messing around in the entertainment industry." I had finally decided to throw in the towel. My plan was simple: quit the industry and prepare to take over my mother's sprawling business empire, finally accepting my role as the next heir. But, in a twist of fate I didn't see coming, my agent booked me one last gig, a fill-in spot on a live talk show just before I was set to make my exit. Since I was leaving the industry for good, I didn't bother maintaining the carefully crafted public persona I'd been saddled with. I stepped out of the black RV, hands shoved deep into my pockets and dark sunglasses shielding my eyes, projecting an air of cool indifference. What I didn't expect, however, was to come face to face with my nemesis, Ryan. We had debuted at the same time, were marketed with the same clean-cut image, and had even competed for the same leading role in a major film. He had always tried to one-up me, his efforts frequently igniting fierce wars between our respective fan bases. Over time, I had simply started avoiding him. But here we were, standing across from each other once again. While I was committed to my aloof act, Ryan was already warmly greeting the live audience, flashing his perfectly rehearsed smile. I offered a faint, almost imperceptible nod to the camera and moved toward my designated seat. Just before I sat down, I noticed the live comment feed scrolling rapidly on a monitor. The comments were all asking Ryan about his rumored relationship with Princess Clara. I froze for a second. Clara, my ex-girlfriend. The one who was obsessed with making slow-cooked soups, who would yell about internal heat at a barbecue, and who used to chase me around with mugs of bitter, unsweetened herbal tea. I couldn't believe it. She had ended up with my arch-enemy after our breakup. Ryan, when asked, didn't give a direct answer, but he hinted just enough, with a shy smile and a sidelong glance, to essentially confirm the rumors. The revelation caught me completely off guard. A thought popped into my head. Wow, he must really be into her if he can handle that god-awful tea. The reason I broke up with Clara was simple. The tea was just too bitter, and I couldn't imagine having to drink it for the rest of my life. The comment section was already a mess. "Yikes, Leo looks really jealous. Look at that face," one user wrote. Another added, "Haha, envious of our Ryan, aren't you? He's handsome, fit, and has a rich girlfriend." Ah, so Ryan is dating the princess. Come on, you guys. Leo's fans need not get involved in this. Thanks. Soon enough, the show started. It was called Bro Chat, with a different theme for each episode. Aside from Ryan and myself, the other guests included the veteran actor Mark, a popular influencer named Sophie, and the host, Dave. This episode's theme was balancing work and love in showbiz. After we were all settled, Dave kicked things off by immediately asking Ryan about the rumors with Clara. Ryan paused for dramatic effect, and then smiled warmly at the camera. "Don't focus too much on that for now," he said smoothly. "I want to focus on my career, and she respects that." His artificially sweet tone sent a shiver down my spine, and I unconsciously rubbed my arms. My small reaction stirred up more chaos in the chat. Wow, my favorite ship is real. What's Leo doing? Quit pretending. He can't even rub off goosebumps now. He's just bitter because he can't have it. Ryan is so clearly devoted to his career. We love you. Ryan's ambiguous response had all but confirmed the rumor. Dave, seeing the potential for juicy content, kept pushing. "So, who does the cooking?" he asked. Ryan let out a small laugh, rubbing his forehead as if embarrassed. "No home-cooked meals for us. She won't cook, and she won't let me either, so we usually eat at five-star hotels." Hearing that, a question popped into my mind. Clara doesn't cook? I thought of her kitchen, which was filled to the brim with expensive cookware and the countless soups and herbal teas she had made me taste. Without thinking, I blurted out, "You've tried her homemade tea? She couldn't possibly torment just me with that stuff, could she?" "Herbal tea? Never heard of it," Ryan said, looking genuinely confused. Then he added with a mocking little smirk, "We never drink that stuff. Who drinks herbal tea in the middle of winter anyway?" His words made me even more upset. So Clara really did single me out for that torture. I vividly remembered that one winter when she came to see me on New Year's Eve. She had shyly handed me a thermos, saying, "Hot pot is too heated. Remember to drink the tea." Yes, she had come all the way to my film set on New Year's Eve just to give me a thermos of bitter tea. Annoyed by the memory, I stopped talking, and my neutral expression hardened into what the camera probably interpreted as aloofness, causing even more chaos in the chat. Did Leo have something with Clara? Are you nuts? No way Clara even knows Leo, let alone had anything with him. Yeah, right. Leo isn't even in the same league. Is he trying to mooch off Clara's fame? Ugh, disgusting. Why is this attention seeker on the same show as Ryan anyway? Maybe he's some rich woman's kept plaything. He's always had good gigs but never made it big. I mean, honestly, who drinks herbal tea in winter? We do, regardless of the season, when there's internal heat. While Dave and Ryan chatted for what felt like an eternity, Ryan subtly kept showing off his supposed relationship, hinting that they were going strong. After a while, needing to manage the show's time, the producer signaled Dave to turn the conversation over to me. "Hey, Leo, have you ever been in love?" Dave asked, still clearly not over his chat with Ryan and seeming rather disinterested in what I had to say. "Had one?" I replied casually, looking down at my phone. Coincidentally, Clara was going absolutely nuts, desperately trying to add me as a friend on every platform. When we broke up, I had blocked her everywhere, but now she was sending request after request, and I kept rejecting her. Yet she didn't give up. Dave, putting on his biggest gossip face, leaned in and asked, "So what's up with you guys now?" I hit the reject button one more time, looked up at him with a slight smirk, and said, "She's gone." Dave was just about to offer some token words of comfort when suddenly our live chat completely blew up. It was Clara. "Leo, since when am I dead?" The message spammed the feed over and over. She couldn't get enough and added, "Leo, add me back." She kept spamming, insisting that I add her as a friend. Seeing this, I just shook my head, let out a cold laugh, and gave the camera an internationally recognized friendly gesture with my middle finger. The chat lost its mind. "Am I tripping? Is that the real Clara?" "No way. Clara is Ryan's girl, right? Why is she all over Leo now?" "I know, Leo must have hit on Clara." "Yeah, I saw it. Leo slipped her his contact info, but she turned him down and went home with Ryan." The more ridiculous the chat got, the more absurd the speculation became. Clara just threw a "just you wait" into the chat and showered our live stream page with a fortune's worth of virtual gifts. Ryan, after seeing Clara's messages, looked totally uneasy. Dave, noticing his expression, asked him curiously, "Ryan, is this Clara, your Clara?" Ryan hesitated for a moment, but then said firmly, "No way. My Clara is way too busy to watch streams. It's probably just some Leo superfan pretending to be her." He shot me a look, almost as if he was blaming me for the whole situation. "True that," Dave said, convinced. "Lots of people pretending to be someone else these days." He switched the topic to Sophie, and the show went on. Ryan started to look more relaxed, but not for long. The expensive virtual gifts kept pouring in, a constant stream of digital roses and sports cars. Who else could afford this kind of spending spree but our Princess Clara? Just as Dave was about to question Ryan again, we all heard the distinct roar of a helicopter approaching. Everyone looked towards the massive studio windows. The helicopter landed gracefully on the nearby lawn, and a moment later, Clara hopped out, looking as cool and composed as ever. Everyone in the studio, except for Ryan and me, seemed incredibly excited. The chat exploded. "Clara is chasing love live on TV. My ship has sailed. So sweet. Ryan said she was busy, but she made a grand entrance for him. A helicopter! Where's the marriage bureau when you need one?" "Leo's fans, y'all quiet now, ha ha ha, face slap." Like, hello? Anyone notice the chat? Clara is here for Leo, not Ryan. I'm not even bothering to argue. You're all going to enjoy this. Seeing the chaos erupting in the chat, Ryan went even paler. Dave, seeing Clara in the flesh, excitedly turned to Ryan. "Ryan, your girlfriend's here." Ryan couldn't even muster a smile anymore. Gone was the pride from earlier. Now he just looked panicked. Dave, not noticing, greeted Clara warmly, looked at the silent Ryan, and then with a shipper's glee, asked Clara, "Are you here for your boyfriend?" Without denying it, Clara glanced straight at me and said bluntly, "I'm here for him." The chat absolutely exploded. WTF, what's happening? Clara's here for Leo? Was Clara really Leo's ex? Did you all see Ryan's face since Clara appeared? It's bad. Poor Ryan must be heartbroken, looking so pale. It's Leo's fault. Why did you date Clara, Leo? Go to hell. Calm down. Clara will definitely side with Ryan. She's just here to diss Leo. Y'all crazy? Clara hasn't even looked at Ryan since she landed. She's all about Leo. Stop dreaming. Clara stepped in front of me, pulled out a familiar-looking thermos, and said warmly, 5-flower tea. You drank too much bubble tea. That causes too much heat. She ended the sentence in Cantonese. I noticed the familiar thermos, flashing back to that New Year's Eve. Then, looking at my empty bubble teacup on the table, I smirked. I didn't take the thermos. Instead, I looked over at Ryan, smirking coldly. Your boyfriend is right there, I said to her. Evil woman. Still won't leave me alone, even after we broke up. Ryan's face went completely white at my words. Clara, seeing that I didn't take the thermos, shoved it into my hands, held my face between her palms, pecked me on the forehead, and said playfully, Don't be silly. You're the only one I've ever dated. The chat exploded again. OMG, Clara just kissed Leo. So bold. I totally agree. I love straightforward love like this. Wait, did I just hear that right? Clara and Leo dated? Nope, you heard right. Clara not only dated Leo, but he's the only one she ever dated. Wow, what a player. So what does that make our Ryan? It just makes Leo unlucky for meeting such a self-absorbed person. Haha, Clara kissed Leo. Yup, she kissed Leo. The comments were blowing up with fans pairing Clara and me. Naturally, Ryan's fans were not happy about it. What's going on? Are they messing with our Ryan just because she's a princess? She gets to be so gross. Look at Ryan. He looks so pale. Oh my, it breaks my heart. Clara, huh? Ladies, what business is her family in? Let's boycott it. Hey, Clara's family sells houses. She's known as the landlord lady. Don't bother boycotting, you can't afford it anyway, haha. The comments were flying, but Clara just ignored them and sat right beside me on the couch, crossing her long legs. At this point, Dave finally caught on. You're here for Leo? So, what about Ryan? Hearing this, Clara gave Ryan a wry smile and spoke directly into the camera. Let me clear up 3 things. First, I'm not dead. Second, Leo is the only person I have ever dated. He dumped me because he doesn't like unsweetened iced tea, but I am actively trying to get back together with him. Third, Ryan, we've only met once, right? That day, after a meeting, you popped out of nowhere and collapsed into my arms. I pushed you away. You can see it all in this video. Clara took out her phone and showed some surveillance footage. In the video, Clara was calmly talking to someone when Ryan slowly approached, unbuttoning his shirt to expose his chest and abs, and then suddenly fell onto her. Without a moment's hesitation, Clara pushed him away. Ryan, unprepared, fell clumsily to the ground, his shirt nearly coming off completely. The video then showed Ryan and his agent being unceremoniously thrown out of the banquet hall by Clara's bodyguards. The crowd went wild. Dave was speechless, and the other 2 guests gave Ryan knowing looks. So, Clara said, her voice calm and systematic, can you explain how I ended up being your girlfriend? At those words, Ryan's eyes immediately reddened. He stood up, looking weak and heartbroken, and turned to me saying, "It's my fault. I shouldn't have said that. Leo, I'm sorry." Ryan suddenly apologized to me. I was completely caught off guard, staring at him and sensing something strange. Then, Ryan's eyes rolled back into his head, and he passed out right in front of me, falling straight towards us. Startled, I jumped up and dodged out of the way. So Ryan ended up falling onto Clara. Clara didn't have time to argue with me and pushed him away again. Ryan ended up sprawled on the couch alone. Whoa, Ryan fainted. What's wrong with Clara and Leo? Why aren't they helping him? Didn't anyone notice that Ryan's apology seemed forced? I don't think he's making this up. He's the one being played. No way, are you guys serious? We've got video evidence. This whole time it's been Ryan making stuff up and you still can't see it? What can a video prove? We don't even know when it was taken. What if after the video Clara confessed to Ryan? Poor Ryan. Getting bullied by the powerful. This is madness. How can it turn into this upside-down world? Ripping your shirt open in front of a girl and falling onto her is beyond creepy. Okay, as a neutral bystander, I suggest Clara report it. That's sexual harassment. The comments were completely out of control, and because of the surveillance video and Ryan's unexpected fainting spell, the live broadcast was forced to stop. Here you go. After Ryan was carried away by an ambulance, I tried to return the thermos to Clara. Even though she clearly had nothing going on with Ryan, I seriously didn't want to drink that iced tea ever again. The herbal tea isn't bitter, I swear, Clara said, opening the thermos lid and trying to persuade me. Just try a sip. I scoffed indifferently. You said the same thing on New Year's Eve. And what happened? I took a big, unsuspecting gulp and then cried my eyes out because of the bitterness. In my frustration, I had broken up with Clara right then and there, but she didn't give up and kept making her presence known, bombarding me with work opportunities and gifts. Every time I started to soften, I'd remember the taste of that iced tea and firmly turn her down. Seriously, this one is sweet and fragrant. If I'm lying, I'll disappear from your life forever, Clara swore, raising her hand to the sky. Skeptically, I took a small sip. Indeed, it was sweet and aromatic. Why would you give me unsweetened tea when there's such a tasty option? The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Because that's how my mom won over my dad, Clara said, sheepishly scratching her head. With bitter herbal tea. I thought it would work the same way. Wow, your dad sure has unique taste, I muttered. I ignored Clara and headed back to the RV, but she followed close behind. So, can we get back together then? I'll make herbal tea for you forever. Hearing this, I stopped in my tracks, unable to hold back a smile any longer. "No herbal tea, and we'll get back together." Her eyes lit up instantly. "No more herbal tea," she said, confidently wrapping an arm around my neck and smiling as she said, "Whatever you say goes." Ryan, collapsing during the live stream, shot up to the top of the trending topics. Leo's hidden backers. Leo bullying Ryan. Forced apology publicly boiling. Ryan suppressed by Leo. The trending topics painted me as the evil villain and Ryan as the poor victim, bullied and forced to apologize on camera. Looking at them, I was left speechless. What do you mean I forced him to apologize in public? He apologized to me for no reason and then turned around and played the victim. That was some serious tea brewing skill. How could a guy be so good at being shady? When Clara saw the trending topics, she was so mad that she immediately called her secretary to have them taken down, and was even ready to blacklist him from the industry. Her secretary hesitated and said, "Boss, removing the trend isn't hard, but Ryan is rumored to be the young master of the Sterling Group. Blacklisting might not be easy." Hearing this, Clara looked confused and turned to me, saying, "Babe, aren't there just you and your sister in your family? Where did this young master come from?" I was just as puzzled. While we were enjoying the feast Clara had cooked, I noticed there were fewer posts about the Clara and Ryan issue on Weibo, but there seemed to be more and more about Ryan being the Sterling Group's young master. "When did Mom and Dad have a side account?" My sister Maya called and asked. "How would I know? I can't get in touch with them," I replied helplessly. My mom was on a business trip in the Northwest, so she was hard to reach. My dad, being the lovesick husband that he is, can't go a day without seeing her, and decided to tag along. Since they love their couple time, they are often unreachable. "Forget it. I'll let the group issue a statement to clear things up," Maya said. On the other end of the line, I could hear her moving papers and signing documents with annoyance. She added, "Clara is still chasing after you, right? Hurry up and bring her home. Then have a kid. I'll train them to take over because I really don't want to inherit the family business." So annoying. Neither my sister nor I wanted to take over the family business, especially her, as she was at the top of her game in showbiz. Unfortunately, I had never risen to fame, so she often resorted to strong-arming me into thinking about the family business. I was about to tell her I had already decided to quit the industry and join the company, when Clara, hearing my sister tell me to bring her home, got all starry-eyed, as if she wanted to marry me then and there. "We can talk about this later," I said, getting flustered from Clara's intense gaze and looking away. "Let's hold off on the announcement. I want to handle this personally." Ryan, with his habit of stirring up trouble, was maliciously focusing on my family, spreading rumors. I wasn't going to let it slide. He loves spouting nonsense on live streams, doesn't he? Well, let's see him crash and burn in a live setting this time. Last time he faked fainting to avoid the heat. I wasn't letting him off the hook again. "All right, do what you gotta do. Just ring the company if you need anything," Maya said. After hanging up, I was about to greenlight a live interview my agent had suggested when I caught Clara holding the household registration book, blushing and asking, "Honey, when are you going to make it official?" The live interview set up by my agent was just for Ryan and me. Before it started, Ryan looked at me, dropping any pretense of the charm he usually shows on camera, and sneered, "You think cozying up to Clara makes you something? More like her husband? Let me tell you, leaning on a woman is nothing compared to standing on your own. But too bad for you. You don't have my family's background." Ryan's tone oozed with entitlement about being the Sterling Group's young master. I nodded along absent-mindedly, trying not to burst out laughing. I had checked yesterday and found out that Ryan's distant cousin's sister-in-law's brother's neighbor was my dad's driver. Such a tenuous connection. Yet he had spun it into being a young master. What a delusion. Does he really think rich folks are idiots? Like they wouldn't clear things up? I held off on having the group issue a statement, and Ryan mistook that for our family ignoring the entertainment scene, doubling down on his young master campaign. But that just meant when he fell, he would fall that much harder. As soon as the live interview kicked off, the comments went wild. Fans who had been embarrassed by Ryan lying about being Clara's boyfriend came back louder than ever, thanks to his young master marketing. Why is it Leo again? How is he on the same show as our young master? Yeah, what level is Leo on to share a stage with our young master? Leo, the one who leans on a woman, dares to compare to someone as born to rule as our Ryan? Young master! How does Leo even have the nerve to sit next to our young master Ryan? Ryan, I'll always love you. You're my idol. Why doesn't Ryan use his family's power to completely shut out Leo? Agreed. Ryan is too kind. That's why he gets bullied like this. Ryan's fans flooded the screen with young master, and I couldn't help but cringe for him. It's not some karaoke VIP room. Sheesh, even worse. Ryan seemed to enjoy it, basking in the attention with a smug grin. No worries, though. He wouldn't be grinning for long. I glanced at my phone. My sister texted that she was on site, ready to step in as the Sterling Group president for the interview. It's well known that Ryan is the young master of the Sterling Group. Has that identity ever caused you issues? Asked the host. Ryan leaned toward the camera, feigning humility with a deep smile. Personally, I don't like folks knowing my family background. I worry people might treat me differently. Somehow the word got out, so I ask everyone not to alter their view of me because of my identity. Then he gave the camera a playful tongue-out gesture. Oh my God, my Ryan is so upright. I knew I wasn't standing the wrong guy. How is Leo not dying from shame sitting next to Ryan? Hearing all this, Leo totally looks like he's struggling. He's thinking he'll be set for life by getting with a princess, but with families like Clara's, they're all about power couples. Leo is going to get tossed aside once they get bored of him. I'm with you, calling it now. Seriously, you guys are obsessed with these spoiled rich kids. Aren't you embarrassed? Keep your fantasies to yourself and stop dragging Leo into it. It's ridiculous. The comment section started fighting again. Seeing them argue, Ryan shot me a smug look. I rubbed my eyebrow with my fingers and sighed. I mean, his fans are so over the top, and buying all these fake accounts for promotion. Aren't they worried it will backfire? Whatever. Let him enjoy his victory lap for a few more minutes. During the interview, Ryan kept hinting that as the heir to a conglomerate, his life was lavish and happy. Then he shaded me, implying I rely on women and saying I'd get dumped eventually. His fans ate it up, and Ryan went viral again. #Ryan the low-key hair was trending. #conglomerate hair has strong morals was buzzing. #Ryan is rich and hardworking. I raised an eyebrow at the trending topics. Yep, time for the real show. As Ryan kept bragging about his family's favoritism, the host smiled and said, "We've invited a special guest to surprise Ryan." Ryan paused, confused. My sister Maya then walked in with a stern face. Turns out, she had been backstage fuming, listening to Ryan's nonsense. Oh my God, it's top influencer Maya. Special guest surprise. Could Maya be Ryan's real girlfriend? No way. My sister has bad taste. Wait, isn't Maya single? What's with you guys? Our young heir agrees to be with your sister, and you're the lucky ones. Being a conglomerate's daughter-in-law isn't for just anyone. Yeah, we don't even think Maya is that great. Lucky, that's a joke. Want this luck? I do. You guys are ridiculous. Use some brain cells, seriously. My sister's entrance kicked off another round of drama in the comments. Ryan blushed and shifted a bit, thinking my sister would sit beside him. Surprise, surprise. She sat next to me and said, annoyed, "You're just going to let him talk without saying anything?" I felt a bit helpless. If only I could get a word in. Ryan kept yapping about his air life. Where could I possibly fit in to speak? Ryan tensed up, worried another Clara scenario was coming. But he quickly relaxed, figuring if there was another Clara, he could spin it to make me look bad. Wait, what? Maya and Leo know each other? Could they be dating? Damn, why does Leo keep snagging Ryan's girls? Is he cursed or something? No way, you guys are insane. So every great woman automatically wants him, huh? Anyone notice Maya and Leo share the same last name? Now that you mention it, Maya did mention having a brother. Could it be Leo? My sister decided to clear it up. She grabbed my head, turning my face to the camera, and said, "Same dad, same mom. Real siblings." The comments went wild. Ryan looked a bit awkward. "Come on, smile for the camera," my sister teased and flicked my forehead when I stayed quiet. "How many times have I told you not to flick my head? Mom said too much of that will make me stupid," I grumbled, pushing her hand away. As a kid, I was gullible, always believing whatever my sister said, so she loved teasing me. "All right," she chuckled affectionately, patting my head while I rolled my eyes. "Wow, you guys have such a close sibling relationship. I'm an only child and can't relate to having siblings," Ryan chimed in, trying to stay relevant with the camera on us. When Ryan spoke, my sister's expression shifted from playful to chilly. She cut straight to the point. "You're an only child?" Ryan hesitated, not expecting her question, but nodded. "My parents say I'm enough. They didn't want another to divide the inheritance. Plus, my mom says daughters are a waste of money." "Cool. Then call your parents. We want to hear them say that," my sister deadpanned, interrupting Ryan's wild claims. Ryan froze, then recovered. They're on vacation in the Maldives. Unavailable for calls?" My sister twitched a smile, like she couldn't believe how outrageous he was. Fed up, she made a call to our conglomerate, asking them to officially clear things up. Hearing my sister on the phone, Ryan's smile froze. A minute later, our company's official account posted, "These are our future successors, the only ones. No third party. Please verify information carefully. At Maya Sterling, at Leo Sterling." Chaos erupted in the live chat. "What's happening? Maya and Leo are the company successors? Then who is Ryan?" A joke. And a burden on Maya and her brother getting used for clout. Leo is the real heir? Wow, this world is wild. What's Ryan's real story? Sometimes he's Clara's boyfriend. Other times he's the heir. I'm so confused. This official account has got to be fake. My Ryan is the real deal, no doubt about it. Even now, still insisting it's true. Fans take after their idols. Delusional as hell. What do you mean, daughters are a worthless investment? You're the one that's worthless. Your whole damn family is. Ryan's comments had my fists clenched. Isn't your mom a woman? Your grandma? Your nana? Without them, could you have even been born, you carbon-based being? After seeing the clarification from the group's official account, Ryan turned pale. Just as he was about to pull his usual fainting act, a Maybach sped up to the studio entrance, and two people stepped out. It was my parents. "Mom, Dad, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be in the Northwest right now?" Hearing me call them Mom and Dad, Ryan rolled his eyes back and fainted. Seeing this, my dad rushed over and pinched Ryan's philtrum. At first, Ryan didn't react, but soon his mouth started twitching, and he gradually woke up. He probably didn't want to, but my dad was pinching so hard it brought tears to his eyes. No chance of faking it this time. "We came back to see who is pretending to be our precious child," my mom said calmly, taking out a wet wipe to clean my dad's hands. He accepted it and said, "Might need to pinch him again later." "What? The movie star is Maya and Leo's dad?" "No way. With such resources, why isn't Leo famous?" Damn, Leo is way too low-key. If my mom were the richest person and my dad a movie star and my sister super famous, I'd walk with a swagger everywhere. Major face smack moment, this is so intense. Where did all those folks calling Ryan the young master go? Probably went crying home to mama, bunch of young fans. Seeing the comments streaming in, Ryan almost passed out again. I heard you're the young master of the Sterling Group, my dad asked him with a smile. Ryan, pale as a sheet, couldn't utter a word. And you bullied my Leo, claiming he relies on women, unlike you, who was born into such a great family, my mom asked coldly. Ryan stammered, trying to explain, but my parents didn't give him the chance. My mom went on camera and declared me her heir. Upon hearing this, my sister went from disbelief to pure joy. You poor thing, I can finally pursue my dreams without worry, she cried as she hugged me. I was utterly helpless and had to publicly announce my withdrawal from the entertainment industry to take over the family business. Upon hearing I was taking over the business, Ryan fainted again. My dad calmly went to pinch his philtrum once more, but despite almost turning it purple, Ryan didn't respond at all. Wiping his hands again, my dad said, "This time he's really out. Won't wake up from this." Ryan's world was crumbling entirely. The higher he was before, the harder he fell. He wasn't just exposed for buying bots to slander me, but also for changing his name and marketing himself as an heir. He had taken on many endorsements under the guise of being a young master. Now, every brand wanted compensation for breach of contract. The amounts were massive. Ryan's agency couldn't handle it, so they dropped him. The company sued him, and with no way to pay, he ended up on a credit blacklist, fully falling from grace. But I didn't pay any attention to him anymore. I have been dead tired every day since. The company is huge, and I'm so busy there's barely time to catch my breath. Now I finally understand why my sister didn't want to take over. "Honey, it's time for bed." Clara burst into my study at 11 p.m., looking like a boss and commanding my attention with a slap on the desk, like a general returning from battle. She was clearly set on being with me tonight. "Hold on," I said as I sped up my typing. "Faster, or do I need to drag you to bed?" Clara pulled out a small whip from who knows where and slapped it across my back. The whip didn't hurt much, just a tingly sensation. Quite the feeling. Grabbing the whip, I pulled Clara into my arms, half joking. "You really shouldn't play with dangerous things like this." Clara smirked. "You don't like it?" "I do, but you can't handle it," I said with a chuckle. She always starts things, but after 2 rounds, she's the first to back out. "How can I not handle it, Leo? You underestimate me," Clara teased, tilting my chin with the handle of the whip, eyebrows raised. I recognized the challenge. I swept the papers off my desk, pressed Clara onto it, and took the whip from her hands with a dangerous grin. "Let me show you how it's done." 5 minutes later, Clara pushed me away, dry heaving and disheveled. I was bewildered. Was I too rough? Not overthinking it, I quickly comforted her and firmly said, "I'm taking you to the hospital just to be safe. Who knows if it was food poisoning?" Unexpectedly, even through her heaves, Clara appeared thoughtful. Eventually, she raised her eyes to mine, and seeing the disbelief in them, my heart skipped a beat. I stuttered, "No, way." 5 minutes later, holding a pregnancy test, I was in shock. Could she be pregnant just like that? Thinking back to the night we got our marriage certificate, we might have rushed things without protection. I didn't expect a one-time mistake could lead to this. "Well done," Clara said, patting my back approvingly. "Why does it feel like we swapped roles?" The next morning, we rushed to the hospital for confirmation. When we got the report confirming the pregnancy, my hands trembled as I picked up the phone to call my sister. Early in the morning, my sister, probably still dreaming, was suddenly woken up. She grumbled, "Spit it out already." Hearing that, I tried to stay calm, but my voice was shaky. "Maya, you once said you'd raise my kid with Clara to be the successor. Is that offer still good?" Clara's pregnancy made me the happiest man alive because this kid could take over the Sterling Group, and we'd be free. We could be like my parents, not stressing about anything, just being lovey-dovey all day. Most importantly, my sister had promised she would raise the child. But my sister was not happy that I used her promise as an excuse to force the kid on her. Oh, and Clara and I had twins, a boy and a girl. They inherited our best features and Clara's big mouth, asking thousands of questions every day. It completely wore my sister out. When the twins turned 5 and started kindergarten, my sister threw a big party. She was celebrating finally being free from babysitting. At the party, she was all smiles. Clara and I gave her a present before sitting down. I noticed someone in a group chat asking if the old scandal with me and Princess Clara was true. Right then, my sister held up an ultrasound sheet, her face frozen. "Maya, gonna need your help again," Clara said shyly. Hearing that, my sister yelled at the sky, "Oh Lord, are you kidding me?" The next time I saw Ryan was 7 years later. I was at the park with my oldest 2, along with my almost 1-year-old second set of twins. Ryan looked different. Not the sharp guy he used to be. Now he looked sleazy, with a fawning smile plastered on his face. He was with a rich-looking older lady, begging her to buy him a watch he liked. Our eyes met, and he wasn't embarrassed at all. He even kissed the lady to show off. I looked away, feeling grossed out. Did he really think I'd be interested in a lady who was well over 50 and weighed at least 200 pounds? When I looked back, he had his arm around her, heading back into the mall. Meanwhile, Clara came over with 3 thermoses, hopping out of a Rolls-Royce. She ran towards us happily. "Honey, kiddos, have some iced tea."